Right, is this? Can't even tell if this is working. Ah, there we are. Yeah, it is. Ah, hello. Not sure if anybody's here. Oh, we've got 3 people in. That's pretty cool. Hey, Sidex, how are you, man? You alright, yeah? Oh, there's a delay. I'm watching it on YouTube and on there. I can see these. I'm going to have to get used to this. People are going to have to bear with me. I've not done this before. So, yeah. I do apologise if it goes a bit mad. I do what I'll do. Try to do that. That might be better. Right. Yeah. So, we got 3 in. Pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm going to do this pairing. This is the Cyriocosmus elegans. I did do a video put out last week. Oh, nice one, Sidex. That'd be awesome. Cheers, man. Yeah, I did put a video out released last week. It was the first pairing that I put out, and I've since done another one, which I've recorded. I haven't put out yet because I had a fair bit going on. But yeah, is the sound all right? First thing, because I was having loads of trouble earlier on. I think I've managed to sort it. I asked my other half to jump on just to test it with me, but you'll just have to let me know in the comments if you don't mind. But yeah, like I say, so I have done a second pairing. This is actually the third pairing. And I did try feeding them earlier on. I'm looking down here because they're on the kitchen worktop. Like, oh, awesome. Thank you, dude. Sounds good. That's okay. So yeah, I did try feeding them this morning, but neither of them were interested. And I've just put them on here about 15 minutes ago, and the male is already sort of tapping and vibrating. He's doing more now than he's done in any of the parents that have caught. So yeah, we'll give it a few minutes, and then we'll crack on and see how it goes. I might. I've also got the Idiothele mira in the corner there, so depending on how this goes, I might try that later on. Hi, Michael. Hi, Scott. Oh, nice one. Thanks for coming along. That's awesome. Cheers. Like I said, I'll give it another 5 minutes or so, and then we'll crack on. Like I said. So, how's everyone doing? Everyone had a good week? Everyone been working hard or chilling hard? You know, been the Easter holidays, so don't know what everyone's been up to. Hey, up, Gav. How are you, dude? Cheers for coming along, man. But yeah, so got off on a tangent now. These Idiothele mira, depending on how it goes, I might try them later on as well. The female fed this morning, so we'll have to just check, make sure that she's finished feeding, and if that's all, everything goes well. Because last time I paired these elegans, the first time it was about 40 minutes, but I had to interrupt it because it was before I was going to work. The last time I paired them, it was 3 hours, and I didn't start till about 10, half 10, so it was a long night and a late night, like. Oh yeah, working Saturdays. Yeah, I got the weekend, but I've only had a 4-day week, which is got two 4-day weeks, which has been pretty cool. Like. So yeah, that's it. Forgot what I was saying now. I'll do this quite often because I'm terrible. I don't know if it's nerves or what, and I'm trying to keep an eye and make sure that I can keep track of everything. I don't know how everybody does this. Fair play. I suppose I get used to it. So what we got there? Yeah. So anybody had anything new? The spider shop have had some nice true spiders in this week. Oh, Scott's in work. Oh, gutted for you, man. I hope it's an easy. You're on a call out. Are you just still working on a late shift or something? Like? Yeah. But yeah, the spider shop have had some pretty cool true spiders in this week. I had a text off Sidex the other night just letting me know. So I've put an order in for something really cool, a pair of Dinopus. So I'm hoping that they're going to arrive next week. Overtime repairing trains. Oh wow. Hey Shay, you're from Virginia. Oh wow, I didn't realise that. A8, how are you, dude? Thank you for coming along, man. You've ordered the elegans from Spa using Scott's code. Yeah, fair dues. They are awesome. Like I said in my first video, I mentioned this female. I've never had a chance to sex her properly, but she's, like I said, over 2 years old now, and she's not hooked out. So I know that these hook out pretty early on. So just based on that, I assumed it was a girl, and got hold of a mature male and thought I'd give it a go. Thought soon find out one way or another. Anyway, because it's all worked out pretty cool. Like, so yeah, Shay from Virginia. I didn't realise that's where you were from, Shay. Oh, nice one. Cheers. So repairing trains, Scott. That sounds pretty cool. Talking about it doesn't happen to be in North Wales, does it? Because my train was well late earlier on coming home. It was half an hour late because of an unrecognised fault. Yeah, so I don't know if that's the one that you're fixing, but best of luck if it is. Hey, Becky. How's things? How's the family? Hope everyone's doing all right, yeah? Yeah, that'd be cool. Hopefully see you at Carfest. I hope you'll be coming to that, which is a thing with Bugfest that I did last year. Did a couple of festivals with them, just helping out over the weekend. It was really cool. Like, juggling here, get Vicky ready for bed, and he's on the phone, and on the laptop. Oh yeah, it's multitasking. Fair play to you, man. I feel like I'm trying to do that here. I've got 3 screens going. But the comments seem to all be coming through pretty okay, so I might be able to just keep an eye on one. Heading across the pond. Shit. Heading across the pond in September. Ireland, England, and France. Oh, fair play. Hey, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'll never get across the pond. My fences from the past won't let me in. But that's another story anyway. Hey, Josh, how are you, man? How's things? You all right? How's your, is it, oh, I can't remember now. So you posted earlier on when you've had trouble with one of your spiders had an issue. It was only on the way on the train, funnily enough, that I seen it on either Instagram or Facebook. I think it was like. Yeah, Becky, I'll definitely be at BTS. And yeah, we're all good. It's a quiet weekend. The elder kids, my other half's kids have gone to their dads, and the grandson's in bed. So it's nice and quiet here. And the missus, I think, is still awake now. Yeah. Shell's still awake in the living room. Right. So, shall we have a look at these and see how it all goes? You'll have to give me a second, because I've just realised I'm not prepared. With catch cup and all my little bits. I think it's DKS. Yeah, fair use. It's a bit of a thingy one with that. Although, saying that, I do know that when we were at Carfest North last year, Nick had an adult female ageniculata that was suffering with DKS. And then a month later, by the time we went down to Carfest South, it actually molted out. It wasn't fully recovered, but it was in a lot better sort of state than it was beforehand. So fingers crossed, man. If I suppose you've got to try and get them to feed. That's often the problem, isn't it? So if you can get it to feed and get it through, that would be awesome, Josh. So fingers crossed for you, man. Yeah. So yeah, we 10 minutes in, I think we'll have a look at these. You'll just have to bear with me. Make sure I've got this. Yeah, I think we have. No, that's not the one. That's better. And we'll switch. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm just trying to work out how to do the camera angles and everything. So here we are. We've got them. See, this is the male. On this side, he's at the top here, and he's just been trembling away for the last 10 minutes or so. And the female is just down here. So what I'm going to try and do is right, there we are. That's a bit better. I'll be able to see something then, won't you? Hey, Deeprof. Thank you very much for coming along, man. I will work out how to have this and me on the screen again in a minute. But as I said earlier on, I'm a bit of an amateur when it comes to this, especially live stream. So I hope you can still hear me. So that's the girl there. Says she's about 2.5 years old now. No, I want to do it the other way. Right, sorry about this. I'm going to have to just stick with that just for the time being, and until I'm able to work it out. What we'll do, I'll come across now, and I'll show you. You go now. I'm going to try and get this nail over into our arms, just under the lip there. Typical. What I might do is try and get a bit of a closer angle. Again, I do apologise. Totally amateur. Let's see. This. There we are. That's a bit better. So that's the female. She's just chilling there. Yeah, deep prof the earth as well. Yeah, really nice spiders. The whole genus is. I've got a Cyriocosmus giganteus, which is pretty cool. It's a good size. Like I say, it's probably about twice the size of these, if I'm honest. Like, they're pretty cool. Just lost all my audio on my end, but it's my computer. Oh, is the mic? Can people hear me? Just in case it is at my end, because I was having some audio issues when I was testing it earlier on. Definitely not me. Oh, nice one. Cheers, Sidex. Thank you, dude. Right, so here we are. This female. I think she's just moved herself back a little bit. She's taking a bit of a stroll, so we'll leave her there for a second and we'll come over and have a look. He is just right at the top, so I'm going to try and see if we can get him to come back over. And see if we can get him into here. without doing the runner. Oh, there we go. That was a clever dude. Oh, and there we go. He's off. There we are. So, anyone that's watched any of my videos before knows that it's not unusual for me to have spiders running around the kitchen. Oh, I have got a little catch cup. Oh, here we are. Scared yourself then, didn't you, dude? Hey, that'll teach you. Oh, there we are. And he's off. He is in there. I'm not sure if you can see him down the bottom there. Not bad. Right, see what we'll do. We'll just sit. Okay. And see if we can bring it down. There we go. We're running. Settle there for a minute. Yeah, uncooperative little bugger to a keeper. Again, like I said, it isn't anything unusual for me to end up with spiders on my kitchen walls. It does happen quite often, so I'm just going to leave him there for a minute. He's slowly on the move, but I just don't want to try and push him over again too much because I don't want to spook him totally. He may make his own way over there. So, or maybe not. He might just go into his little hide, which would be quite ironic because he's never bloody used it since I put him in this enclosure. So, yeah. You know what they say about not working with animals or children? I spend all night and all evening working with young people in the youth club, and then come on and do this with animals. And weirdly, 2 times I've already paired them. Spawn went like a dream. There's none of this. Ah, there we go. It's amazing what a bit of light does, isn't it? Yeah, she's, if you can see her, she's just down here. Oh, there we go. I've spooked him by moving the camera. Shit. It's just one of those. I don't mind. Like I said, I was here 3 hours with them last time. I don't intend on being here 3 hours tonight, if I'm honest. But like I said, we'll just see how it all pans out. He is having another little move, wander around. sorry, that's my web colleague. Let me noise around the building. How are the hairs on these? Did we kick much or only have provoked? Right. Well, the only time this female's ever flicked hairs was after, I think it was after the first pair. I think at the end of the video, she got out, went for a wander as I was putting him back in his enclosure, and she went for a wander on the side. And as I was cupping her, she started flicking hairs, and if I'm honest, that's the one and only time I've ever seen any of these do it. So, I mean, it could be a lot more common. If I'm honest, I do all right for hair flicking, but most of them seem to be all right. But I think it's just because I try and be so take my time and try and be as easy as I can with them. So, but yeah, you'll definitely get flicked if you get provoked, and I'd imagine they're going to be really, really small sort of verticating hairs, so it'd be a bit of a nightmare to get out if you got them in. But again, I've got to admit, I'm no expert. I'm like a lot of people. I'm just a hobbyist. I've been doing it for a long time, just learning from my own experience and what I learn on YouTube from, you know, same as everybody else watching, everyone like Sidex and all the rest of them. So it's, yeah, I just sort of, I may be wrong. So if I am, you know, feel free to correct me. Like, right, Francis. Hey, how are you, dude?
Yeah, I did. I think I'm sorted now.
Oh yeah, it sounds all good here.
I just was sat watching, and then you were talking to the camera, and then literally I just lost sound. But it happens from time to time, especially when I'm trying to set up my own streams. Just sound just completely goes. I don't know what happens.
Yeah, it all sounds good now, man. All sounds good. Thank you very much for coming on, and again to everybody that's watching as well. That's awesome. Thank you all for spending the time to sort of come along with this dickhead on a Friday night. You know, they've got lots of stuff. You normally got stuff going on, haven't they? I'm just keeping an eye on these. She's moved a bit, but he's gone back down in his hide. You see, never work with children and animals, and I thought, oh, you idiot. So, like I say, we'll give it another 5 minutes. I just don't want to go back in there too much, trying to shift him in case it spooks him right out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you saw he's already taken one wander up the kitchen wall.
Yeah, I kind of saw bits of it as I was trying to sort this out. I didn't really know what was happening, obviously, because I couldn't hear, but I kind of gathered that he wasn't playing ball.
Yeah, he was. But he walked straight over the top of her and then shot off up the wall, like, so. Just one of those, and so who's that? Fanby's fascinating. Never kept any. See, I quite like the dwarves. I've got a few. I've got these and the giganteus. I did have the Leetsy as well, but my female died. And then I've got a few other dwarfs. The what is it? The Hydrorhenius Raja, the Indian blue.
Oh, they look nice.
That's really nice. That is. I've had that one for a couple of years now as well. But if I'm honest, I've only seen it 3 times, and one of them was when I rehoused it.
I think I might have looked at them, but I've never owned them. I haven't owned many dwarf species, like pumpkin patch. They're the dwarf species. You get the small.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I've got one of them actually. I won it at the Barnsley show from Creatures from the North. I forgot about that one.
Idiothele villicella. They're dwarves, aren't they? I think.
Yeah.
I've had one of those. Turned out as a mature male though, so I sent it off for breeding, but nothing came of it.
Yeah, I've got the half-pack Tira species black. They're tiny.
I was going to say. I was about to say that. I was blown away at how small they actually are. They could arguably be a dwarf species because they're tiny. Like that male I had, my first one matured out as a male. And I didn't even realise it was a mature male until I looked, and I was like, because of how small they are. My female's not that big either.
Yeah, well, I remember I'd had mine for a while, and it's probably about 3 centimetres now. And then a long time ago, Jeremy had heard them, and his was sitting on an egg sac. And we were chatting, I think, on somebody's stream, you know, on the chat as you do, and he mentioned that it was only 4 centimeters, and it was sat in an egg sac, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize that they were that small. Like,
I didn't realize Jeremy had half bacteria species black.
this was a while ago. He had an egg sac. I don't know if it was viable or what. It might be worth asking him though.
He must have had like some of the early ones then, because like they're quite hard to come by, aren't they? I've got a mature male here now for my female on a loan, and that I'm a little bit nervous to pair them, because I know that if that male, I don't look after that male, so one, his owner's not going to be very happy, and two, they're not exactly easy to replace.
Yeah, that's it. And it's, see, I'm like that with this these Idiothele mira, because the male's not mine. He's on loan from Ben.
See, I love Idiothele mira. I think it was a couple of years back now. There was a photo competition to win free entry to BTS. Obviously, BTS didn't end up happening, so I'm hoping they're still going to kind of roll that over to this one, because I won a photo competition of my adult female Idiothele mira that I had at the time.
That's
so I'm kind of hoping that because it was published in the journal, so the proof's there. But
wow, awesome.
So I'm hoping that I'll get free entry. I mean, it's not a big deal if not, because it's not too expensive. But yeah, I think they're beautiful.
Yeah, they are. They're awesome. Like I say, I got this one. I bought a pair. I think it was from Spider Planet.
You've got some progress.
Oh yeah, that's her though.
Oh, she's going looking for him.
Yeah. There we are. Yeah, I bought these. I bought a pair of the Idiothele mira, but the male just disappeared, like into the substrate almost.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. She's gone back into his enclosure, and now she's going into his hide. See, I could do with some like dramatic music.
Yeah. Well, I paired my e-Murinus recently, and I've made a video of the footage that I managed to get, and I've put some dramatic music on it. Just you know, as you do.
As you do, yeah. Oh, that'd be tidy. I hope that comes through for you, man. That'd be awesome.
I mean, the pairing took 7 hours, but the only realistically usable footage I have is probably only like a few minutes.
Yeah, it was like that with the second pairing of these elegans was 3 hours long, but I think the second video, the footage wise, was shorter than the first video, if you know what I mean. There was a lot less of the barrel rolls this time.
I haven't released the video yet. She gone down into his hide, has she?
She's gone right into his hide. And it's really hard to think. She's just behind this little bit of moss here. This, like, I don't know. Bring it round, you might. Oh shit. And if you can just make out that's her foot just under here.
Yeah, it's her foot.
Ah, I didn't realise I could zoom in further. See, told you I was shit at this, man. Oh, look at that, I can zoom in way further. There we are. That's her foot just down there. So we'll see. We may get something after all.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, or typically, you know, they'll sit like that for ages. We'll go, right, call it a night, and then by the time I go put them all away, they'll start pairing once the camera detects.
That's why the e-Murinus took 7 hours. I mean, they notoriously take ages anyway, but it was more the fact that the male would go to do something, then he'd stop for ages, and then just as I thought, do you know what, I'm just gonna call this quits, he'd do a bit more, and so he kind of toyed with me for ages. But the biggest problem was that male was so aggressive. He weren't scared of the female or anything, that once he'd paired with her, he decided to sit just inside the entrance to her burrow where I couldn't quite reach him. Even though she was down the burrow behind him, he weren't bothered because she kind of ran up the burrow towards him. He basically just told her to go away, and she did. And then he sat there for hours, wouldn't let me get him out. And every time I tried to get him out, he'd bite tongs, he'd bite cat cups. He was an absolute nightmare.
Proper aggressive, was he? Yeah.
Probably the most defensive male I've ever worked with.
Well,
and I've still got to pair him a couple more times, and I've got a second female to pair him with, so it could be fun.
Yeah, I've been quite lucky, if I'm honest. I've had a couple of skittish males, but none I'd say were aggressive. Although I've got that Tapinocenius polybox on the side in there, and that's a bit of an he's a bit of an oddball, like, I've got to say. Oh, I think I've just seen Deep Profs think they're kind of an oddball species. That's the Emurinus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They are awesome. I haven't had much choice with Ephiborpus, if I'm honest, in the past, until recently. And it's going to sound really tough, this, but I don't know why. I just struggled. I've had 2 blue fangs and 2 Emurinus from slings, and they didn't last very long, and they died. Hey, Ebbs, how's things? You all right? So yeah, they died, and I don't know what I was doing wrong. You know, everything seemed right, and it just wasn't happening. And then I read something online. Oh, they had them in the spider shop, and I was like, oh, shall I go for it again? And I don't even know where I read it now. I can't remember, but I read something on one of these forums, and some bloke had said about how he kept his slings arboreally.
Oh, right, okay.
I thought, well, do you know what? It's got to be worth a fucking try. Do you know what I mean? So I did, and if you look on my Instagram, going back, I haven't got a great deal of photos of it, but if you look at them, it's all sat at the top of the corkback, and it lived like that up until about, well, its last molt. It molted about 2 months ago, maybe about 6 weeks ago, and since then it's built a burrow under the corkback. But it's doing all right now, and it's got further than any stage I've managed to get them before, which sort of goes against the grain, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Considering that you'd expect them to burrow as slings rather than be actually up on the top. But it lived like we Verses do for the first sort of 6 months I had it. Like.
But it's only like some arboreals. They're arboreal, but they spend a lot of their younger life so it just shows that it's not all the way through their life that they live a certain way.
Yeah. The Profs saying here they are related to Avicula. Yes, they are in the Avicularia family, aren't they? Yeah, I never thought of that. So it does make sense. I think the Tappies are in the Avicularia as well, aren't they? Hello, are you all right? You're running past there,
I've got 2 female Emurinus, and I've got 5 blue fangs of various sizes. Mostly, my largest one's only juvenile, but they seem to grow quite quickly as well. And
this one's doing well.
All my slings my blue fangs seem to climb a lot more. Now my biggest Signathus, he's now starting to live more fossorially, but the slings seem to climb a lot more.
Right. So there is might be something in it then, yeah. Like I said, it's just I read it on a forum ages ago, and I sort of read it and went, oh, do you know what? I'll go for it. I'll try it. Something a bit different, because I'm quite up for that. I'm always up for having a go. You know, see what works.
Haven't you?
And it's like I said. Although I've said this, very touch wood now that I've actually said this out loud. Do you know what I mean? Don't anything going wrong. Just check it. I don't know how the comments come through. I know people say that there can be different timing with the comments, can they, on StreamYard as opposed to YouTube and that. So,
well, I've got it on StreamYard and my phone just so I can keep an eye out for you. But
yeah, cheers, man. Because I think it's working all right, isn't it? It seems to be. The audio issues earlier on, I couldn't get rid of the high pitched squeal that you get.
I don't know what that is at the moment. Like, I've never had that before, and then recently, it's all been since I've had these audio issues. I've set everything up that I always did, and then I just get this high pitched screaming, echoey sound, like, and I'm like, and then I don't really do anything. I just unplug everything bit by bit and plug it all back in, and miraculously at some point it
Well,
disappeared.
that's it. I did that. I unplugged everything, plugged it back in, and then I individually muted all the mics.
Yeah.
And in the end, I seemed to sort it by going onto the camera and muting, you know, turning the audio on the camera off before I plugged it back in to the laptop for StreamYard.
Yeah.
So the only thing is with this camera is it's one, I borrowed it from work. It's quite a nice camera, a Canon one, but the battery life on it's a bit shit, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I don't think you get 2 hours, and you can't, you know, you can't have it on charge via the battery. There's some of them you can do that, can you? You can have it, still have the battery plugged in and charge it. You can't do none of that. So I'm really hoping that these two decide to sort their shit out before the camera dies. Like, although I have got a backup, I've got this phone here, and I've got a spare phone as well. So one way or
Canon.
sure it'll be all right. And I've got a camera on the laptop as well. It should work. It was a high man.
Renee and Jojo.
Hey, Renee.
It's Renee, isn't it? I get confused because it's Raw Cavern and Raw Reptiles.
Yeah, it's Raw Reptile. It's usually Raw Cavern, isn't it? Yeah, that's been, yeah. How are we? Are you all right, Rennie?
The Professor, or as I accidentally typed before, deprocessor.
Deprocessor.
Do your emus have trouble gaining abdomen size? I've never had trouble with mine, but I do have completely different species, obviously, and genus, but I do have a Samopius victori that's confirmed female, but she never seems to put on a lot of abdomen size between after meals. It's really weird. So I think sometimes it's just the individual that seems like it seems healthy enough. My victori, like it doesn't seem lethargic or anything, but no, I've never had any issues with my emus gaining abdomen size.
Yeah, because mine seems to be doing all right, but it is still only a little sling at the moment, so it's probably too early to be able to say much. It's both for Rennie and Jojo. Renojo, yes, it's Renojo. So,
have you ever had the Ephebopus rufescens, the burgundy skeleton?
I haven't, no. I really wanted to buy them. The Spider Shop had some juvies on about 18 months ago. They seem to have these juvies there for ages. And I was debating about it, but because I was struggling with each time I bought them and they kept dying on me, I thought, I don't want to go and buy a juvie, pay more for a juvie, and then that die on me as well. Do you know what I mean? So I left it, and then eventually they went, which is always the case, isn't it? Do you know?
I'm gutted because when I first got into the hobby, I got a rufescens in a mystery box, and at the time I didn't really know what it was, and I think I gave it away or I sold it to someone. And now, because I've got to love the Ephebopus genus so much, I'm gutted that I didn't keep it.
Yeah. And
I know that a while back now, the Spider Shop had females of the Ephebopus Uthman, the emerald skeleton.
Oh, yes.
And I really want one of those, a female of one of those as well, and I just can't find them now. But then again, it took me 2 years to find my Signathus, and I ended up getting them, and now I've got 5, so I'll just keep looking.
Yeah, it's just patience, and I was like that with the one I call the racist Orphanacus.
Yeah.
I got a mature male. I did a swap with Portsmouth tarantulas and ended up with a mature male. And for ages I tried to find a female and couldn't, and then I found one in Poland, ordered it, had to wait 3 months for it to get posted, and the day after it got posted we went into national lockdown. You know, the male. So it spent 10 days in the post, and she didn't make it in the end. She arrived, but she was in a right mess. But the Cyriocosmus giganteus that I mentioned earlier on that I've got, that was a sling that was also in the same parcel, and that survived and came through great.
That's how it happens, isn't it?
But then I had to wait until 6 or 7 months ago to be able to get hold of that Orphanacus again from the Spider Shop. So I bought 3 of them. And then I think about 2 months later, there was a confirmed female on so many legs. So I bought one of those as well. Sorry, I'm just looking at it. Yeah, I've upgraded its enclosure from 10 by 10 to 20 by 10 by 10, and it's gone inclusive. So yeah, I'm guessing we're still on about the immuriness there, right?
I think from what I can gather from looking up back at the comments, I love the speech like immuriness.
Yeah, that's what I've just done, and just checked back to make sure that I've got the same thing, because I'm terrible for forgetting things and going off on a tangent. So I'm probably apologised 20 times for one thing and another already, and I'll continue to do so. I probably call myself a knobhead a fair few times as well.
Yeah,
so, I don't know if anybody's seen that, but they've he's there.
Oh, he's done one.
There. So I don't know what happened there, but they've even managed to bridge the gap and everything. Like, so, see, oh, that's what happens when we're talking away, isn't it? See, nattering away. Don't suppose anybody else in the chat saw what went on, did they?
Just saw that she's out, mate.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I saw. It was like, out, mate. It was like, oh, right, what's going on?
That could have been there.
The problem I've got is I have to keep, I suppose I might be able to bring the camera down here again now, actually, so I can stay a bit closer to what's going on. Because I moved it here, because that's when I was having all the real bad howling earlier on.
Interference of some kind, or
yeah. Is that all right though? The audio okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear everything fine.
Yeah, it's just put there. Female just jumped ship, Andy.
They could have packed the bags and left, and we wouldn't have known.
Yeah, see, this is what happens when you start talking about spiders with people that like spiders, isn't it? You just chatter away for ages, like. Right, so that's him. She's back there. I got a feeling that it might be an idea just to leave this one, and we'll try the Idiothele and see how that goes, maybe.
Yeah.
It's it all.
I mean, if they're not up to it, you've already paired them twice, did you say?
Yeah, I have paired them twice. So
indication that.
If I'm honest, I'll tell you why I decided to do this, and again, it's your fault, same as the Dinocus. You're a terrible influence on me, right? But do you remember? I think we were both watching somebody's live stream a few weeks ago. Evening, Aruna. Thanks for coming along. Yeah. So yeah, the other week, and I said that I was pairing the Cyriocosmus, and you messaged me to ask me if I was streaming it.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, do you know what? That's an idea. I might do that. And that's how this come about, if I'm honest. So, right, we'll put him back in his hide, in his enclosure. And, oh, no, he doesn't want to go in there. No, he's off up the wall again. Come on, dude. There we are, look. You don't want to go down there. There's 2 trapdoor tarantulas that will make a right meal of you.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's definitely not the place to be. Right. I'll try again, eh? So you've been working today, Francis?
No, I was working yesterday. I've got a couple of days off now. So I've got some pairings of my own to do, I think. Well,
tidy.
I've either got a feed. I'll probably feed in tomorrow and then pairings the next day, or I might do some pairings tomorrow. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've got feeding to do tomorrow, but I'll do it sort of tomorrow evening. Oh, there we are. He's back in. So I've one last look at him. What I might do though is I'll just put him back in the corner.
Yeah.
And see what happens, because like I said, they were tapping away earlier on. Wu-Tang. Tiny cheers, Josh. Hey man, this was a gift from my other half. She bought it yesterday. It was a bargain in Primark, £6, and she said that she saw it and just couldn't leave it. Hey, Steve. That's Becky's other half. Have you ever met? Oh, Francis is gone. I don't know if you're still there, dude.
I'm here.
So he's gone back there. Have you met Becky from Lockdown Lakes? Becky Telfer?
Yeah. I have.
Yeah. Really nice. Really cool woman.
One of my YouTube members before I closed my membership, and I met her at a couple of shows. Yeah,
really cool. The whole family are awesome.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, that's them two. I'm probably going to have to change this camera around. Fair dues, with wires and everything, nearly knocking pictures off the wall. I can see now why it's taken me this long to do one of these. Okay, yeah, awesome, thank you. So, right, if you hear a weird noise, it's just the kettle boiling. Get these out. Nice. Tucked away in there. I've christened him Little Ben.
Little Ben.
Little Ben, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it's mad. I'll show you something now, man. I've got a male, another mature male that I bought, and he's massive. He's like, when he arrived, I was like, there's no fucking way that that's a male, but he definitely is, like, but he's huge. I'll just carry him out, show you. He's also an absolute prick, so I can't open the if I'm honest.
Wow.
But you can see, you know, that's like a standard bottle cap in there, but he's got probably a good 3-inch leg span, at least, possibly a bit more. Like,
he's not a little boy, is he?
No. Well, I seen him, I was like, there's no way I can put him with my female. It's just not happening, because I was just worried that he'd eat him. Hey, Sav. Hi, how long have you been hiding there?
The Sav. Hi, Sav.
You Sav. Oh, Sav. So, yes, Sav in the chat is a colleague of mine from work. She's another one who's also come along and worked the pub fest with us and that. Like, yeah.
I think when I first met you, she was with you.
That's right. Yes, you've met Sav, haven't you, in the petrol station on the motorway when we were going down to Bedford, if I'm not mistaken, was it?
Around the other half just shouted, "Oi, you!" out of the car.
Yeah, and I just had somebody screaming at me from across the car park. It was
Can't take her anywhere.
I'll see. You say that about me, don't you? Pardon? Yeah, there's a camera on there. It's pointing straight at you. Everyone's looking at you.
Yeah, the male bacteria species black I've got for my female, I think he might be slightly bigger than my female. I'm like, oh god, I don't like it when the male's bigger than the female. That's it.
I'm a bit sort of thingy with that. I saw a video on Instagram earlier on, or I think it was Instagram. There was a video of somebody pairing Salmorpia seminia, the sun tiger, and the male was like enormous compared to the female.
To be fair, that was kind of the case when I paired them. I think half of it though is how leggy they are makes them look bigger. I think that's half the issue. I don't think they in body size. I don't think they actually are, but it's just because of how leggy they are. I think it makes them look bigger, and you think, hey, hang about this is meant to be the other way around.
Yeah, yeah. Like I say, he did look big, but I never thought that. You know, could have just been the legs on him that made him look that way. Like Sav's been on from the start. Cheers, mate. Thank you. I won't ask how work went tonight, Seth. Right, let's have a look at her here. Turn the camera on, then you know. Right.
It's got that quicker than one of them.
So, I think. Oh, there we are.
Oh, stunning. Look at her.
Yeah, fair dues. I was landed. Oh, that's what I was saying earlier on before I got off on a tangent somewhere else. I was saying about getting the mail, having the mail as well, but the mail just literally, it's like he just dissolved into the substrate because he was in the enclosure and I fed him and then he blocked his burrow away. You know, so he built his trapdoor and everything. And then I never seen him for months. You know, he fed a couple of times then I never seen him for months and months and months. So I thought, right, I'm going to go in there and check. And went through everything and he just wasn't there. It was like he just dissolved into the substrate.
Voice, you know, it's weird when it happens.
Either that or there's a male Idiothele mira running around the house somewhere. But I'm sure the kids would have let us know if they'd come across it by now. Like, so see, there we are. Get a bit more light on it.
Gav said, was it his reel that you saw of the pairing of the Emernias?
Who said that? Sorry.
Gav, Impossible Inverse. Was it his reel that you might have seen of the pairing?
It may have been, if I'm honest. I honestly can't remember who it was. I just remember the male was above the female at the time and they come round the cork back. So yeah, it could have been, if I'm honest, Gav, because I was on there for a little while. I think it was when I was on the train home earlier on. I had about sort of 10 minutes and I was just, well, I had a bit longer actually because the train was that bloody late. Andy, can you loan my male elegans? To tell you the truth, if you just cover the postage, you can have him. Because I don't know how long he's got left, and he's done. So he can see. He's. What, I don't know if you can see this. He's trembling away now. I said he was a prick, didn't I?
Shia says they are going. Nice to meet you, Andy. Great job. I hope you do another one soon.
Oh, nice one. Cheers, Shea. Thank you. Yeah, Fedu, Shea watches and comments every week on my videos. She's really awesome. Like, excuse me. Yeah, pay the postage and you can have him because I've got no use for him now. And like I say, I only paid a tenner for him, if I'm totally honest. And I've had my tenner's worth out of him, and I honestly don't know how long he's got left. So I wouldn't want to sell him to you for the price I paid him and then him cark it on you the week later. Like, so yeah, drop me a message on Facebook and we'll sort it all out. Right here, Cody's sleeves and the same just disappeared. Can't imagine it squeezing through one of the air holes. Yeah, so it's mad. It happens sometimes, isn't it? Like,
that's the thing. I think I had it with a couple. Maybe once. I think it was only a sling. I can't even remember what species it was. It was a good while ago. But it was like I came to rehouse it because I hadn't seen it for ages. And it's not even like I found a molt or anything. There was literally no trace of the spider in there.
Yeah. I have to assume that it's just been eaten by the springtails, because that was the only assumption I could come to. Like, I'm trying to see, because I fed her this morning. I'm just trying to see whether she's finished. I've got a feeling, you know, that she might. I think she might still have something in her mouth, you know. See if we can get in closer. Yeah, it looks like she might still have something there, doesn't it? Or is it just me? I
just saw Chelicerae moving, so it's possible.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, definitely.
Like it.
Right, well, that throws a spanner in the works, doesn't it? Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Got your first C elegans today. I'm in love, so yeah, they are. They're awesome. Cheers, Kev. Thank you very much, man. And in typical fashion, it's all sort of gone tits up. The tech side of it's gone really well. That was where I was expecting it all to go wrong, if I'm honest, was the tech side of things. Managed to sort that out beforehand. But yeah, the spider's just then plain ball, dude. So, although this is probably my fault, because I found the smallest Mario worm in the tub earlier on and fed it to this, thinking it was like, what, it must have been 8 o'clock this morning when I fed it. And I thought, oh, it'll be well finished that by now. And it isn't, whereas what I should have done is just giving it a mealworm or something, shouldn't I? So
taking its time with it.
yeah, it's one of those. It's all right. We'll have a nice look at it. And what I might do, what time are we on?
We are on 27 minutes past 10.
All right. Oh, yeah. So what I might do is I'll get a couple of things out, feed a couple of things, show a couple of things off of that homoioma that I had off you. I think he's a male though. But I don't know. In fact, what I'll do, let me just grab my broom. What I'll do is I took some macro shots of the, I can't tell if it might just be because sometimes the males can have what look like tiny little sperm. Is it the fusilier or something they're called? I can't remember their exact name. But sometimes it can be mistaken in it, and that's it. I'm not sure. It looks too small at that size. It looks like to me, I should probably be able to see a proper flap going on pictures. I've seen it before, but it's probably just wishful thinking. But I'll send you a picture, see what you think. But either way, I've still got the other one there, and if it comes to it, hopefully somebody else will have a female. I know Robbie from Robbie's Talking Teas has got a breeding pair, so he may be interested in taking another male further down the line. Try peppy males. You know what? I've never kept tri-peppy until about 6 months ago, and a few different people did videos on them. And I was like, right, you know what? I need to get some. So I bought 2, and then I won a mystery box about a week later, and 1 come in there. Not breeding, but enjoyable. See tarantula cruising around the wall. Yeah, oh, tell you, watch my videos, you see it happening all the time. They don't get fat. You only go sort of, I don't know, about 12, maybe a bit more than 12 inches. That's, you know, it's 3 tiles high, and they don't want to get much higher than that. Like, but yeah, like I said, it does happen. What I'll try and do though is try and bring this male out, you know, just interview, so I can compare. I can show you the size comparison next to that other one. All right. So what I'll do, I'll put that lid on there. Just back and turn it up a bit. If I zoom out, right? So there's that male I've already showed you. I know there's a bit of glare there. I am sorry. That red's the cable for the computer, and there's the other one. Although, do you know what? Look, from that angle, they don't look that different, do they?
Not from that angle.
If I turn him on that way, though.
Yeah. On that one,
you know what I mean?
see,
and they are literally what, 2 inches apart, head to head. And yeah, the one on the left is like got to be twice the size.
Yeah, it's a good sized male, though, to be fair. Hopefully, at least one of them will get the job done.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I haven't tried this dude yet, or I haven't tried him at all because I'm just a little bit worried.
Yeah.
That he is too bloody big. But little Ben. I have already paired these once. I've got the video of it coming out tomorrow. Well, I say coming out tomorrow. It's all set. I just need to, you know, just to set the time for it. And it was a pretty good pairing, if I'm honest. Like, sorry, I'm just going to go back because I noticed that Ebbs and Dprof. It said something about I didn't do a body lap. Yeah, fair dues. I've been quite lucky. I don't have many doing body laps. I've had a few wanderers, but that's it. Ebbs, don't worry, mate. I know it's like life just gets like that. You're knackered, and it's just one of those. But you're here watching, which is awesome. Either way, so thank you very much. I bet you're only in the room next to side X. Oh, hang on, that one. Oh, I'll have to get the hang of that eventually. Yeah,
she's over there.
She's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to this.
Sliding doors here, and our living room's the other side, and she's in there.
Just the other side.
In there.
Arun, yeah, watched that video with the so many times. It was quite funny in all fairness. It's like a proper one. I think the best one. Hey, how are you, mate? You all right?
I'm going to bed in a minute though, so.
But yeah, I think the best one like that of wandering, pick wandering on people is. Do you remember the one on Jaden and Craig with that cobalt blue?
Oh yeah.
Jaden had to pop out for 10 minutes to pick the kids up.
Left him there with it on his arm or whatever.
Yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. That was like, but yeah, he's had a few wander on him. Oh, where's Craig? Have you read from him? I haven't seen her head. Anything on social media or anything for a good while? Like,
I think he's just taking a break, to be honest.
Yeah,
I haven't spoke to him for a little bit, but I'm sure Jaden probably has.
Yeah. I know Jaden seems to be doing pretty cool. He's put some cracking videos on. See you soon, mate. Thank you very much. Set it to the Benny L thing. Tidy. I did that with a video once, and I posted it and got a copyright claim on it straight away. Although saying that, I got a copyright claim on the one I did of the pairing of these two last week.
Music is the pain of my life when it comes to
it's
finding the right music. Just sat there, just going through song after song after song, and I'm just like,
yeah. Well, I found this thing. It's a piece of music from like about 100 years ago, but there's talk of it's out the inspiration of there's suggestion that it sort of inspired the dude who did the soundtrack for Star Wars, and it sounds very Star Warsy. And if you listen to it, there is little elements of that to it. But I put it on there, and I double checked online to make sure that it was in, what do they call it? Do you know, where it's all past copyright now? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I can't remember. There's a term for it.
Royalty free, all that like that.
No, it's like a thing, because once it's been a copyright only lasts for, or I don't know how it works, but in the old days, only lasted so long, didn't it? And it was past that point, so it's like almost in the open zone sort of thing. And I double checked all that, and the internet on various sites told me that was the case, and then they give me a copyright strike on it straight away anyway. So it was just one of those.
Have you ever had it where you've put it on a video, you've uploaded a video, it's been perfectly fine, and then just randomly after a week or 2 weeks or randomly they suddenly decide that it's copyright? So
I had that happen quite a lot when I first sort of started. But I think it was because of where I was getting the music from. I was depending on it was saying it was royalty free on YouTube, but then I'd get a strike on it, and then I'd sort of go, right, double check. I'm not a strike, but a warning. And then I'd double check and realize that same piece of audio is on YouTube under 20 different titles, all saying royalty free, and basically what somebody else has put a thing in. So it's one of those. I don't mind. I've got my head around it now, and I've got Epidemic. And I just use that.
Epidemic. I just don't enjoy sitting there for hours going through all the different.
I sort of look at the video and see what it's like, and if it's like a pairing that's quite tense, then I go, right, I'll go for that sort of theme, and search down that.
It's the length of the songs. That, like, I don't like it when I have to try and merge a couple of songs together because the individual songs aren't long enough. I hate trying to merge them together.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I know on Epidemic, I managed to find you can filter it, can you, so it puts them in order of song length, but then you're dependent on the length of the longest song being as long as the video you're trying to put to it. And you know, I've had that a few times where I've had a 9-minute video, but I can only find a 7-minute song, so I've had to just pick something totally different. Like, yeah, I felt that, but not as monetized. I wasn't bothered. I think they might have adverts in other countries, so if the old ones get pennies, that's fine. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen that, if I'm honest. I was just shocked that the two transitions in the song tied in so well with the spider change in tact.
I love it when that happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a look at that.
A perfect piece of music for something.
Yeah, definitely. It's like when you're filming something and it just all works.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my god, I couldn't have thingied that better. Bloody fly. Right, give me a second, mate.
Oh dear.
What's time? Yeah, do another 5 or 10. I'm going to do another 10. That's it. Might as well take it to just before 11. Say another 20 minutes and then call it a night. Because, like I say, we've got no kids. So I'm going to go and watch some crap telly with the missus. This is another new edition that come this week. Is the focus all right? Can you see that all right?
Yeah, I can see it all right.
Yeah, I got the moderatum last month, didn't I?
Beautiful.
And it disappeared. It's basically buried itself away and gone. And I've not seen it since the day I filmed it going into its enclosure. But I'd already had the intention of getting another one. And yeah, come the other day, I have done a video on it, but I thought I'll show it off now because I'll give it a feed. So it won't be a second. I've left the feed in there.
Just hope this one doesn't go for a wonder.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm terrible for that because I just assume that they're going to stay there. But like I say, if the kids were about, I wouldn't do it because there's too much of a thing. But yeah, I do often do that when I'm feeding and stuff like that. I'll just open and go, oh right, I've forgotten something, and then wander away and come back and go, well, you're lucky that one's still in there.
Last week, I think, or the week before, I left the lid off of my Red Runner colony all night.
Oh, mate.
Luckily, they didn't. For the one time, normally they were always trying to get out, but luckily for me, they didn't. As far as I could tell, none of them left or got out. But I was very lucky because I literally left it off all night.
Wow, fair play. That is proper. Oh, mate. You imagine the grief you'd have been getting.
My invert room's a separate building at the bottom of the garden.
Oh,
but
yes. Yeah, it's outside now, isn't it?
If it wasn't and it was still in the house, I'd have been sweating a little bit.
Yeah, I bet you would have been. You'd have been more than sweating, dude.
Yeah, my Soleil as well. I was rehousing that the other day, and that did a wonder around the room. If that
I did. Did you posted that on Instagram, was it, or Facebook? Was it? I seen it.
Ebbs would have killed me if that had been in the house.
Kind of want to do my own music. Just mate, that'd be cool if you could do. I play guitar and bits and bobs. I can play a bit of bass and do a bit with like percussion and that, but I'm not talented enough to consider doing my own music. Like
I used to play the drums many years ago.
Yeah, I could probably just about do. Do you know, every now and again when Adam Invertebrarian releases a video where he's just messing about and things like that and having a good crack and a good laugh and taking the piss a little bit, that is probably about my limit, if I'm honest, because then when you don't play well, you can account for it because it's all just for so it doesn't matter.
I think if I was to sit at a drum kit and try and play now, because it's been so long, my coordination would be all over the shop.
Yeah,
I'd be like, wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, definitely. Right, let's try giving him a feed. See if we can get something. Fair dues it. Fair play to everyone who's hung around, because you see, nothing's played ball so far, has it? So if we can at least get something to feed before we go.
They're beautiful. They are. I love the colour of them.
Oh mate, yeah. This one, I'm not sure, but this one's definitely looks a bit darker than the other. And I don't know if it's actually on the Spider Shop website. It says the males, you know, tend to be a bit darker, and you can see it from quite early on. But again, when we haven't bought two of them, they might have done knowledge, you know, which would be quite cool if that's how it's worked out. If not, I don't mind if I end up with two males. It's just how it is. But if I end up with two females, even better, isn't it? So we'll just see how it all pans out. Like,
I'm a bit gutted that my biggest Phomictopus cochleovorax, a snail muncher, and my biggest one's a male. I'm gutted. The chance of finding a female of the same size or bigger is...
Yeah. See, I'm a bit gutted that I didn't buy them when they were, because it was a couple of years ago on the Spider Shop had them on it, yeah.
And
so,
I missed them as well. And the only two I've seen available since I bought, and one was Mark's Tarantula's one.
Yeah, I was going to say Mark had one, didn't he?
And I got that one, and then I got another one that I saw at a show, and that was bigger, and that's the one that's turned out male. So even if, and I think the difference in size is such that even if the smaller one is female, that I'd have a hard time getting her to be ready before the male.
You're going to have her sat on top of the radiator and him sat next to the fridge.
Yeah, basically, it'd have to be.
Yeah.
It'd have to be.
Oh, cool. Right. Where have I put the lid for this one? So, yeah, that's the Phonopelma moderatum for some royalty-free music, a little dark, but there's a YouTuber, NYU, I'd recommend checking out. All right, NYU. Hey, do me a favour, mate. Send me a message, if you wouldn't mind, on Facebook or something with that, because I'll totally forget. And if I'm honest, I don't even know if once this goes on YouTube afterwards, if the live chat will still be there, because I don't know how to, I haven't managed to work out how to set it. Apparently you've got to turn it on, or you know, it's an option, but I don't know how to check it out, whether it might be something I've got to do on the laptop as opposed to my phone. I don't know, so it'll be one of those.
I can't remember now. I don't tend to do many lives. I'd like to, I just don't find the time.
Yeah, well, if I'm honest, that's it with me. I've got enough time to pop on to somebody else's stream. You know, as you've probably noticed, that I generally tend to show up on people's stream towards the end of them. By the time I finish work and got in and had something to eat, and then I'll sort of pop out in the shed and have a fag, and then I'll jump on if there's a thing to join. But the Fridays, I normally don't get in until 9 o'clock, and that's why I'd set this for 9:30, but I managed to finish a bit early. But again, train was late, so I didn't get in until 8:30 anyway. So only half an hour extra to play with, like. But yeah, right. Let's close that one over, and we'll no doubt see him or her again soon. Now, this one you might recognise, Cider. Focus. There we are. Now, this should be proper primed in the feed. This is the Homoioma. Or is it Blue Peru 2? This one, isn't it, dude?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to think. No, thank you. Offering me sweets and then running past. Not on Facebook, but we'll comment on the vid. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I can have a look then, because I'll totally. I know it's only 4 letters, but I'll totally have forgotten by the time this ends, like, because I'm terrible. Lucky to 3 on Phomictopus from the pet farm seller. 1 purple, 1 gold parison, and red islands. Oh wow, for these.
I'm not quite sure exactly how many Phomictopus species I have now, but I have a few.
Well, I don't have any now because you had my only one off me. That mill.
I know I've got my Cancerides females paired. I'm hoping she'll drop an egg sac. I've got a group of a trio of Dominican purples. I've got a pair now, thanks to you, of Aratus. I've got 2 Cochlear Vorax, 2 Gold Carapace, 2 South Hispaniola, and I know I've got, Atrochromatus, I've got that as well. So yeah, I've got quite a few.
Yeah,
I've got a whole kind of section of my room that's literally just for Mictobus.
yeah. See, that's the only one I've had. I've only got 2 Pamphobeteus as well, as it happens. I've got the Cascada, a big female Cascada, and a sling of the Antinous big black rue or something.
I had a big female of that before. Beautiful they are.
Yeah, they look awesome. Although they make me laugh because they call it the Antinous big black Peru or something. And then when you look at its common name, it's called the steely blue tarantula. And it's like, well, that goes against
possibly.
But that's the problem with common names, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's a locality difference as well in some.
Is that what it is? Right.
So don't quote me on it, but I think so. I've got 3. But I mean, I think I've got 3 Pamphobeteus, only all quite small. I've got the Costa, the Platyoma, and the Machala.
Yeah, but they're all nice ones as well.
I've got the Costa because I love Costa coffee. You what, sorry?
The Platyoma, the pink bloom.
Yeah, I get confused, but I know basically the Platyoma and the Machala, one's the pink bloom and one's the purple bloom. And I got them specifically because I've got 2 girls. So, and so I just kind of thought it'd be nice to have those. And I got the Costa because I love Costa coffee. That is literally I'd like to say there's more to it than that, but I love Costa coffee, so I got a Pamphobeteus species Costa. I really want to get a 3D printed Costa cup for a hide. I really want to get one.
That'd be cool. What you should do is see if you can get the little ceramic espresso cups. Costa one.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah,
I've been racking my brains because I know the paper cups would be too fragile. And so the only thing I could think of was 3D printing, but I didn't think of that.
I'm sure you can. I don't know if they sell them in Costa, but I bet you could get them online, or even get it made. You know, one of those little ceramic espresso cups, and then just get the Costa printed on.
I definitely want to do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. I've got a build that I've been working on for weeks now. Doing a Star Wars Dagobah scene, but I've just had one setback after another with it. It's been a right ball ache. So I tried using foam, and that went tits up, if I'm totally honest. And it took me a week to sort it out. You know, by the time I'd scraped it all off and got it, it was a nightmare. But I'm pretty close. I'm hoping to be able to finish the build off and get the build out pretty soon, and try and get it finished this weekend. Now I've got everything together. Let's have a try see if this one's ready. It molted about 10 days, 2 weeks ago, so I'm hoping it should be set. Right, there we are. Awesome. I always worry when it's that first feed after a molt.
That thing's always been good with food, though. It's always been good with food. Considering they're quite a friendly and gentle sort of species, this one wandered all over me when I was unboxing it. But they are a bit nuts when it comes to takedowns. The sling that I've got is the same. It's really sort of, its temperament's really good, but you wouldn't want to be a mealworm going in there like. No,
one advantage of living in the States is we do the lives. It's only 3:45 over there, or fair dues. For Mictobus are one of my favourite geniuses. Yeah. Oh, that's you.
Just replying to comments.
Fan, can you gauge if they're more leggy? Oh, you'd probably know more about that.
For Mictobus tend to be quite very similar right up until the end. Like my male Cancerides, you wouldn't have really noticed much of a difference. And maybe he was slightly leggier, but they tend to look. They're one of them where they tend to look very similar right up until the end, and then they obviously they hook out, because especially with things like the Cancerides and stuff like that, because they're such big tarantulas as well. We're talking like 18 centimeter, 20 centimeter leg span. They're a big species, so it's not even like there's much difference in there, because you would expect your females to be quite large. But yeah, they tend to be very similar up until the very end, until the last molt. And then I saw the comment about you don't see the species green that much. You see the green gold carapace for sale in the UK. I haven't seen, like, I've got a couple of green gold carapace now, but I have not seen just the green available in a very long time. I'd love to get one, but like you say, in the US they seem to be more
You
easy.
get a lot of Themictopus over there, don't they? I noticed on Tom Moran's videos that he seems to get quite a few, because him and Robbie have got a bit of a thing going on. If ever one of them gets one, the other one tries to get hold of it, sort of thing, keeping up with each other almost, isn't it? And what was there was one.
Robbie's got one that I can't remember what it's called.
Behibe or something.
That's the one. I've never seen that available. He seems to have the only one, or only few.
That's it. I've never seen that available anywhere. But if I'm honest, I can only check on the websites for short periods of the month, and do you know what I mean? I don't tease myself for the rest of the time, if I'm honest. Like I said, I've never known about them Dinopus yesterday if you hadn't messaged me, because I wouldn't have looked on there.
I spend too much time tormenting myself with it.
Yeah, I've learned that lesson, man. Right, I'm going to put this one away, because
I kind of miss things. I kick myself when I miss things more than I do when I kick because I kick myself when I can't afford things, but when I miss things that I could have afforded,
it's even harder.
Even more.
The worst one is when you don't know that, like you say, you don't know that anybody's got something or whatever, and you see a post off somebody on Facebook saying, "Oh, I've just ordered this," or they'll put a screenshot of their order on Facebook, and you're like, "Oh wow!" When you go on there and they've all gone, it's like, "Oh fucking hell."
Well, that's the thing. I was like, I'm about the Donopus myself, but then I was like, I couldn't really do it. But then I was like, I know a man who likes Donopus.
Yeah, well, I've also got, this is another bit of a spoiler, I bought 10 slings of Dinopus as well, little tiny things, like proper tiny. So hopefully the next couple of years, Dinopus wise, are going to be quite cool. And apparently these pairs from the spider shop, the guy who I bought my slings from is the guy who potted them all up for the spider shop. And
that's where I actually saw that the spider shop were going to have them, because I'm part of that group. And
that group, was it Steve? Yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned it on there, and I noticed it, so I checked, and that's when I messaged you in case you hadn't seen it.
Ah, cheers, man. Well, yeah, today there was a thread about them today, and he put about how somebody had asked how long to wait, or how you'd know, when the female was ready to be paired. And he's commented on there saying that he potted them all up, and basically every female is ready to go. And he said just give them all 2 weeks and then put the male in there and leave them to it. So I've got do you remember, I don't know if you've seen it, I did a really nice enclosure for my millipedes, but it might be a bit too nice because I never ever see him.
Yeah.
So it's a waste of the enclosure more than anything. So I'm just going to put them into a rub and use the enclosure for the Dinopus and sort that out for when they arrive next week. Like. So this one, I'm going to see it.
A Donopus eventually, but it's like, obviously I couldn't do it at the minute. And I really, with trews, I always kind of and ah about getting slings, because I just don't seem to have much luck with keeping slings of trews alive. But saying that, I have got some huntsmen from Jeremy coming, so let's see if I can do all right with them. Yeah, awesome. But if I do, then I might venture into more trews in the future, especially if Dinopus do become more readily available.
Well, Steve's had another egg sack today. I don't know if you saw in the group.
No,
I don't know where he just said he's something about a surprise, an egg sac from a recently purchased Opus that he's only had for a few days. But yeah, I don't know if he knows. It on the thread it didn't mention whether or not it was she'd been paired.
Yeah.
So I don't know in that respect. Like, sorry, I'm just going to go back through these a little bit. My daughter is Victoria, so I recently got a Victoria tidy.
That's really cool.
I hope you've called it Victoria. And even if it turns out to be a boy, you'll just have to call it Victor then, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah. LEDs on your chair.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. I hadn't noticed them either.
I literally bought this chair just for the lights. Because I've literally got LEDs anywhere and everywhere I can have them. Like,
I tell you what, D Prof, sorry, I know you posted that comment a little while ago. I'm just going back to catch up with them. You're on about access to quite a few species. Yeah, we do, because I mean the breeding and the don't know. We seem to have it nailed over here in Europe in compared, but maybe it's the size of the states. That's
I've
nuts.
got LEDs everywhere.
Yeah. See, I've got them around me spiders, but that's about it. But the prices over in America are mad. I saw somebody posted on one of the groups earlier on that they'd bought the 3-pack of the Theraposa 3-pack, and they'd paid, it was $285, I think it was. So I remember that Portsmouth Tarantulas were doing one for 150 quid, or was it the Spider Shop were doing one, a pack, same pack for 150 quid?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, when I looked at the conversion based on today's rates, it'd be 220 quid.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's like there's a big price, that's 70 quid price hike, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's massive. And I noticed that the prices, like what we'll pay $5 for a sling for over here, they'll probably pay $40 or $50 in America for a sling that size, isn't it? Hey, Michael Taylor. Michael, how are you, mate? I'm just going back. I don't know how long you've been here, dude, because I'm just sort of going back through the comments because I've been talking to Sidex and we've been chundering away. How did you do that, man? Put that comment on the screen.
I think it's when you were scrolling, you might have pressed it.
Oh,
right. If you press on the comment, it highlights it.
Ah, right. Do you know what? I thought you'd done it. See,
I have no control from this end.
Yeah, I told you I'm an amateur. I keep scanning pre-loved and pets at home for Calcodies after the news you get from the US. Better things to come out of Texas. Exciting. Walking at night, never and walk. Yeah, that is size. I've got a Calcodies. It came in my I hate using the term gimps, but that box that I had from the Barnsley show. Funny enough, this is the Theraposa Stemi that I had out of that same box as well. But there was a Thrixopelma puriens in there. It's only about a centimetre, and it only had 4 legs. But I looked at it this morning, and it's molted, so it's got 8 legs again now. I was well happy. Proper, you know, got my camera out taking photos. I haven't posted them anywhere yet, but I was proper chuffed this morning because I was like, if I can get that through to its next molt, it should be all right. Yeah, I was well impressed.
Are they the new legs, them really spindly ones that look?
Well, I'll post a picture. I'll probably do it tomorrow now, but you've got to look quite closely to tell which are the legs that have regenerated, if I'm honest. Oh, here we are. So this one's only got 7 legs as well. See, it's missing on the left-hand side, the back leg on the left-hand side as we're looking at it. Like,
I think it's mad though, the discount that they put on some when they've lost a leg or two, just because they've lost a leg or two, when they'll grow them back. So to be fair,
it's insane.
Aren't a bad deal.
I'm gonna do, dude. I'm just gonna put that like that. I should have done that each time I was feeding, but again, we were just chatting away, and I never even thought because I'm a noob. So yeah, let's see how this one does. This one should feed. I'd be surprised if it doesn't.
I do like Sturmies, they're great.
This is my first Theraposa as well. You won't believe all the spiders that I own and all the spiders I've owned over the years. That, like I say, I've only ever owned one Themictopus, £2 for Beteus, and this is my first Theroposa as well. Like,
I keep going backwards and forwards onto whether I'm going to get another big sturmy, because I built that big enclosure. I put my big female in it, and then she died a while afterwards. And I was like, probably just because of space. I was like, I'll probably leave it now. But I keep getting tempted.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Moon's here. Hey, Moon. How's things? Are you all right? To tell you what I'm going to do. Hang on. Let me just.
Ooh.
Ah, that's the one. So that's it. Hello, Moon. How are you, mate? Hope everybody. And Gemma. Hey, Gemma. How's things? I hope you're all doing well. Sorry you missed so much. You haven't missed much, if I'm honest, Gemma. The most of the actions happened in the last 10 minutes when we've come feeding. Apart from, we've had a couple of runners, haven't we? Spiders on walls and things like that. But yeah, the pairings didn't quite go as I'd hoped, but such is life. You know, we'll try them again another day. To
be fair, it's a bit more interesting when they go for a wander than with the ones with the pairing streams I've done before, where you literally are just sitting there staring at nothing happen.
Well, if I'm honest, that's why I had the feeding and the miras as a backup plan, because that last pairing took 3 hours, and if I'm honest, for the bulk of it, they were just sat there locked and not doing anything. So I thought, well, that's not going to make much. I thought what I'd do is leave that in a little camera in the corner or something, and then get about pairing the mira or something if it got to that point. But as it was, it never happened, and I don't know. Now I've done it the first time, I'll probably do another stream again further down the line. You know, it'll be on nights like this when we haven't got everybody at home. So maybe do one a month or something, and then in the meantime I can practice in the studio offline and get my head around everything.
Now you've done one, you kind of know what to expect, and so you can.
Yeah, and people came and watched it, which is fucking awesome, if I'm honest, because I was a little bit worried about the fact that I could spend ages talking to myself.
But to be fair, for what I've seen, you've had consistently at least 10 people in at any one time, which is pretty good.
I'd said to myself, if I could have half a dozen people watching consistently over the course of the night, that would be awesome. Because it's not like, do you know what I mean? I'm not like someone like Jaden or what, who's got a big following and loads of people joining the streams, or the what's he called, Dark Den and all that. You know, it's not. That's not the crowd I'm aiming for. I like this. These are the people that watch my videos. You know?
And it gives you the opportunity to talk to those people and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, that's it. I know, like most of my videos, I reckon I get probably about 40 or 50 views that are probably the same, consistent. That 40 or 50 that are watching my videos each week, and there's quite a few that comment on it and all the rest of it. And then I notice that I'll wait until later in the week before I share it on Facebook, and then the views go up, but also the watch time goes down.
Yeah.
You know, so that's when you know that that original group are definitely the people that are.
You've got that cool group of people.
Yeah, so they're the people I try and tailor for, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
As well as myself, you know, because I'm record everything anyway, so I might as well share it like as it's happening. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that one.
Gav said, "Do you have a blue panay, Andy?"
I haven't, mate. I haven't. The Orphanacus blue panay, that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, they're one I've said a few times about getting one, and for one reason or another, again, it's probably just I've missed it or I've been too late. Cheers, thank you very much, man. Like I said, we did get a little bit. What time are we on? Yeah, we're on 11:05 now. So what's this? Deprof Calcodes and NC, you kind of catch all species, lump a bunch of the subspecies into those. For instance, here definitely several different species and only a couple of names. Yeah, I can imagine it's like that, because you see it with things like the just around, you know, Calcodes, perfect example. You've got 3 different localities all within a few miles of each other that all look like different spiders to a certain extent, don't they? Do you know what I mean? So I you know, I've no problems if somebody was to tell me that they thought there's probably shitloads more other versions of the Aphonopelma calcodes. It's just we've not found them yet.
Yeah, probably.
It's yeah, wouldn't be surprised at all. See, Ben's mail's still out. I thought he might have gone back down. He's just chilling up there. So, but yeah, so it's 10 past, or nearly 10 past 11. We see Arizona Blonde, New River, Rustrum, Flagstaff Orange. Yeah, they're the three. Oh, JJ, you've come as I'm about to end, dude. I'm afraid.
Hello.
Hello, though. Yes, and thank you for coming along. You know, just for actually pressing the button and coming along. That's awesome. The fact that you're willing to come and spend some time is this. Got a mail that's hooked out. Yeah. Oh, I tell you, who has got an Orphanacus blue panet, and I know I think he got a mail at the Barnsley Shore. He was looking for a mail. Is Sean, who runs the Tarantula Zone group.
Oh,
Sean Birkin, I think is
possibly.
then in it. But yes, yeah, I know that Sean, because he messaged me before Barnsley. Oh, actually, no, I think I may have got it wrong. It might be that he had a male that hooked out and he was looking for a female, I suppose. But if you're in contact with him, Gav, it might be worth messaging him just to check.
I know I had a conversation with him a while ago, and I remember him mentioning it, but I can't remember if he said. Now you said that, I can't remember whether he said he had a male or female.
That's it. That's where I'm at. I remember him messaging me about it before the show, and then when I saw him at the show, he said he was looking for one. And then after the show, we were messaging, and I said, "Oh, did you manage to get everything you wanted?" And he was like, "Yeah." So I just took that to mean that he probably got hold of the one, the blue panet that he was after. The US species are definitely in need of some serious work. Identification is sketchy. Yeah, I think it's like that. Especially there's over in like that part of the world, especially there's so many different ones where they haven't been properly identified yet, and there's loads of work needs to be done over there. I mean, there's loads of work needs to be right across the hobby, but probably more so over there. Panthobeteus being one of them. There's seems to be a new species of them popping up every month, doesn't they?
Well, Phomictopus can get a bit dicey sometimes. Like there's some that are believed to be just variations of Calcodes, and then you've got some that are just simply labelled as Phomictopus species Cuba because they're not described properly.
Yeah,
they're just named after where they originate
from. Well, Christ, I bet if we all look down our lists or look on our shelves, we've all got probably half a dozen spiders like that are species something. I've got one. It's where is it now? It's not Thrigmorpius, is it? Thrigmorpinae? Species cinnamon. Like that. No, that was new on me because normally they're named after the place they're from, aren't they? Now, I mean, I don't know. I just took cinnamon. I just thought it immediately thought of the spice, but I'd have to have a look if there's somewhere called cinnamon where they come from. Like, but I just keep it like I do the I've got the Thrigmorpius trunculentus as well, so I'll just keep it damp with the burrow. They're only slings.
Though
and
I think
the market keep it similar to that. Yeah,
even when they are described, you could give it a long enough and they'll get redescribed to something else.
yeah. Funnily enough, look at Brachypelma again, and they get changed all the time.
They're always getting changed. So
Tapenacinius, all of them are all a bit like that, aren't they? So, hey, do you know what? The camera held out, man.
Yes.
Yeah, Sav, you're still here. Do me a favour, don't tell work that I borrowed the camera for tonight. But yeah, I think that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for coming along and listening to me talk shit, and Sidex listen to me talk shit for. Yeah, well, I didn't want to say you were talking shit because that's really rude. You're a guest, but but I can definitely say it about me. But yeah, dude, thank you so much for coming on, and thanks earlier on for the help in just sort of getting my shit together. I think you helped bring my nerves down a little bit earlier on.
Anytime.
Cyriocosmus species is species. I've got Cyriocosmus. Is it? No, it's not Cyriocosmus. It's Haplopelmadoriae, depending on which school of thought.
Yeah.
I got told off so many times for that. I'd post it as Haplopelmadoriae and get comments saying that it's Cyriocosmus, and then I'd post it as Cyriocosmus. Yeah, so now I just post it like it's the whatever you want to call it, Doriae.
The one that'll want to kill you.
Yeah, that's it, definitely, yeah. So, Gav, thank you very much, man. That's massively appreciated. And again, thank you for coming along. It only started in December, but even if my GBB was a GBB as a sling, as it's a lot different from an adult. Yeah, that's
changed so
awesome.
much. GBBs.
Oh, Sav, of course you won't. Luckily, you're on holiday next week, so hopefully you'll have forgotten by the time you come back. So yeah. So, Sav, I forgot to bring your hoodie over, and we need to sort out that tank. So give me a text over the weekend. A8, awesome. Thank you very much. And yeah, I've said it 5 or 6 times now, and then I keep getting to the comments and getting sidetracked. So definitely going to go. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming along. Sidex, you've been awesome. And I'll see you all soon. Cheers, man.
Bye.
See you all later. Ta-da.